That's great.
Okay, so you create a lot of branded content for advertisers, video on the web, these shows that advertisers can sort of wrap their brands around. And you also have a video network. Why is it that advertising companies are creating these shows, whereas in the past it would have been TV networks or other types of media companies?
Well, I think there are several factors that play into this. I think one is relative to television, the cost associated to production is far lower than television, but the quality online, digitally speaking, is very comparable in terms of high definition. So I think that's one of the many reasons it exists in terms of advertisers migrating to the online space with an interest to develop branded content and serve that content to a highly targeted audience.
And so, but isn't it also part of the issue here that there isn't any place where you can get reach like you can on TV, and the place where advertisers get reach is really through these video advertising networks. So you have the reach. You kind of become the new network, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that it's been a misconception that digitally speaking, we could not provide comparable reach to television. We demonstrate every day through defined periods of time for programming that we produce for advertisers that we can deliver a reach and frequency comparable to television and aggregate an audience against that for viewership.
But in the history of television, in the early days of television, you also had many of these branded shows and sponsored shows, right? But then that evolved, and the creation of the shows was separated from the advertising of the shows for many different reasons. Do you think that same evolution will happen online, or is there a reason why it'll be different this time?
I think that evolution could possibly replicate itself in the online space relative to what we saw historically on television. But I'll tell you the difference. I think that, the digital space provides an opportunity historically that television didn't, and that's engagement. Producing content online and allowing brand integration and product placement in a very credible way in engaging consumers in an extended dialogue that's measurable over time. And I think that's a unique differentiator in terms of the credibility of producing original branded content online, and hence its kind of growth exponentially, and advertisers understanding the value of producing content that aligns with consumers' interests and distributing that content to a highly targeted audience so that the brand maintains a long, extended dialogue with consumers through time, as opposed to just 15 or 30-second spots that provide limited engagement or interaction.
Right, but there's a difference between producing shows for the audience and producing shows for the advertisers. And I think in the past, when you've seen other types of advertorial, whether it's in print or other mediums, the quality hasn't always been there. So how do are guys like you going to put guys like me out of business, or are guys like me going to figure out how to make better content than guys like you?
Not at all. I think it's a balance. I think guys like us provide, and clearly it's a collaborative effort across the board on both sides. I mean, we provide best practices in a market that's evolving and progressing through technology, in representing the opportunities that exist for advertisers in creating cost-effective branded content online that aligns with their brand objectives, and serving that out to an audience that's highly open to consuming that video content.